Hey guys, it's Jason. Welcome back. Today we're going to go over the actual layout or floor plan of my basement. I want to go over how I sort of mocked it up. In this case, I'm using Sketchup. There's a couple ways to do it. You could even do it on paper, of course. I wanted to go over how I go about getting it into Sketchup, then sending it over to the acoustic engineer and having him look at my basement as it exists now and how to potentially partition off the space to give me the best results for the space I have. So what we're looking at here is my basement currently. Right here is where I'm sitting, or where my sort of mixing suite is currently. If you saw the video from the other day, you'll recognize that in this area is where all my kids' toys are. Sketchup is a great tool. It's super easy to use. I believe it's free. At least this version is free. I don't know if it still is. This version's maybe a year or two old. You could get it as a student or personal use or what have you, and it was free. The other nice thing about this is my acoustic engineer, John, uses AutoCAD, and he can import this relatively easily and use it for his AutoCAD tool. So I just, as simple as I could, I went around the room and I had a laser measuring tape and just got the dimensions of the walls front to back and did my best to get them as accurate as I could, specifically where some of these poles were and the cross beams and things like that. So once I did that, I then sent them over to my acoustic engineer, John Brandt, and let me show you guys his site real quick. This is John's site right here, jhbrand.net. He's super cool to work with. I'm going to do a video in the future, not so distant future actually, on how we work together, how it is to work with somebody remotely. He doesn't live in the States here, so all the work we do is via Skype and email, and it's pretty streamlined actually. So I'll do a video on that, maybe even get them on there a little bit so that you guys can see how that works out and see how easy it is. Anyway, so I got these, like I said, I had the SketchUp floor plan done, and I sent it over to him, and he sent me back some dimensions and some ideas of how I could configure the room, and we talked about that, and that turned into this. And as you can see here, if you can, basically, if this is where the mixing room was before and this is where the kids were before, now we're going to actually create the mixing space in here. And he calculated the best dimensions of a room based on the height of my ceilings in the basement. And it's not the ceiling to the bottom of the joist, it's actually the height of the room. The true height of the room is to the top of the joist when it hits the floor above. So that's 104 inches, and he determined that these dimensions of this room would be the best based on that. It posed a little bit of an interesting thing because now we need to get over to this area, which will be the kids' room. In the other drawing, this area here is a closet, but what we're going to do here is we're going to actually open up this closet to go all the way through to the back, and the entrance to my little area will be right here. So we took a look at it. I said it would work. I did another sketch up here to show my wife, make sure that's okay, make sure the space is good for the kids, make sure this is a doable thing for me. And then he proceeded to go forward and actually create the plans for me. I'll show you those real quick here. He sent me these, and this is a pretty extensive list of plans, all kinds of views, top, bottom, left, right, isometric views, and every single one of these traps here is specifically placed, and he has a outline of exactly how it should be tuned, how to make it, where it is, what the position is. It's pretty intense stuff and very effective. Here's a view from the floor up. These would be the diffusers on the ceiling. Here's a side view. Here's a little dude here. I guess that's me. Here's the back of the room. Let's see here. Here's from the other side. Here's looking from the back wall to the front wall. and here's from the front wall looking to the back wall. So as you can see, John took those dimensions and he ran with it, and he provided a complete plan here of the traps that I need to make, how to make them, and where to put them. The next stage would be to start to build out the room itself, which, back to this again here. So I'm going to need to tear out a couple walls and create this space here. Once that's done and is satisfactory, then I'm going to move on to the traps. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys today. Thanks for hanging out. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I will take a look at them and do my best to answer them. I'm also going to link to John Brandt's site in the description down below, so you guys can check him out if you guys are interested in doing that.